Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Lautoka sugar mill workers sustained 60% burns in mill mishap. Fiji Sugar and General Workers Union goes ahead with secret ballot to decide on industrial action. And for the first time, parents to be held accountable for negligence resulting in children's deaths. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. A Lautoka sugar mill worker is in a serious condition in hospital after suffering burns to 60% of his body following an incident at the mill this morning. FSC Executive Chairman Abdul Khan says the man was injured after a wheel broke on an evaporator, pouring hot liquid over him. Khan says the machine was damaged and as a result, the Lautoka mill is closed until next week. An investigation into the accident is underway. Cane lorry and rail operators are taking their cane to Rarawai mill in Ba until the Lautoka mill comes back online. The Fiji Sugar and General Workers Union is going ahead with its secret ballot to decide on industrial action despite being criticized by the government. Union leader Felix Anthony maintains the stand, claiming this is the only option left for workers to try and seek a wage adjustment. Attorney General Said Qayyum says their actions will bring harm to the sugar industry. Christopher Chand reports.
Over 900 sugar mill workers will this week decide on whether they will go on strike. This follows demands by the union to get a wage increase.
Everyone's crying about disruptions to the sugar industry, but people who have the authority to act and do something about it to resolve these issues are not acting at all, other than making statements, blaming workers and unions and me personally.
The reality is, where was these heads of these union organizations a few years ago when the share price was below 0 cents of FSC? Where were they in the modernization of the actual industry or FSC itself?
The ballot started on Tuesday and ends tomorrow afternoon, after which a decision will be made.
The head of this union coming in and trying to stop the mills. So people need to question, what is the purpose of this? What are they trying to achieve? What is he trying to achieve?
I will not go into any personal attacks. I think the Attorney General should address the real issues, and it is within his authority to do so. And the responsible thing for the Attorney General at this time to do would be to convince his management in FSC to get to the table, sit down with the union and resolve this issue as soon as possible.
The decision by the union to try and threaten the industry has been labelled as a shameless attempt to damage the sugar sector.
I want to make one thing clear. We take no joy in taking industrial action, nor do the workers. We have no intention of disrupting the industry. Unfortunately, that is the only option available to the workers right now.
We hope that good sense and common sense will prevail, and that people will judge this issue not just for today, that they will judge the issue for the future.
While it may seem that a strike by workers is inevitable, the union is willing to talk with stakeholders over concerns about working conditions of FSC staff. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
For the first time, parents in Fiji are being held accountable for negligence that leads to the death of their children. A mother of two appeared in the Taviuni court yesterday for manslaughter. She is believed to have left a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old alone at home last year when their house caught fire and burned, killing the children. As Vasita Kotewasawasa reports, this is the first case of its kind, and it certainly won't be the last.
During the course of investigations, police have noticed a laxity among parents in caring for the well-being of their children. What's even more alarming is that most parents are caught up in their own personal lives.
Most of them are as a result because the parents have either been at a social gathering social function which we believe could have been put off for another date, or they could have not attended in the first place.
Anane Soro says there are other cases that's being investigated, sounding a stern warning to every parent.
The concern is these are children and they have no one else to turn to. They rely on their parents to provide, to keep them safe, especially in their own homes. But if this is not going to be the case, then we will have to pursue charges against them.
The onus is now on parents and guardians to be more vigilant, not just to avoid being taken to task by authorities, but more importantly, to ensure that children are well and safe. Wasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
Prime Minister and Military Commander Commodore Vorenge Bainimarama will farewell the second group of soldiers bound for the Golan Heights tonight. Lieutenant Colonel Armani Suliano says the 151 military personnel will be farewelled at 11 p.m. at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Suva. The soldiers fly out tomorrow morning. The first group of 182 soldiers and medical staff are currently on a year-long deployment in the Golan Heights under the UNDOF mission. The Fiji Roads Authority is conducting a fatal crash investigation at the Vakambalea Bridge near Navua. That's where a car containing the bodies of Krishnaswamy Naidu and Ella Blakelock was found last Friday. Chanel Sivan spoke with FRA CEO Neil Cook about the accident and highway safety at the bridge site.
This bridge, situated just outside Navua town, doesn't appear to be dangerous, but has claimed the lives of 4 people already. 15 years ago, the bodies of a man and his toddler son were pulled out of this creek. Just last week, a Suva businessman and his colleague were found in their car in the same creek. Calls have been made for rail guards to be put up, but it's this assessment by the FRA that will decide if this needs to be done.
We need to look at the root cause of this. What caused that car to leave the road in the first place, and is a guardrail the best solution? If it is, certainly it's something that we're looking at installing. But what we're doing immediately is firstly assessing the section of road and the culvert, the box culvert bridge.
Neil Cook says public safety is their priority and everything will be done to ensure this is maintained.
I would expect us to complete an assessment of the situation within a few weeks, and certainly in terms of installation of any immediate warning signage or traffic markings or that sort of thing, that would be in the next few months perhaps.
It's not known if the absence of the rail guard was the main cause of the vehicle going off-road. In fact, the incident leading up to last week's accident is still yet to be determined. Hopefully, after this fatal crash assessment, some questions will be answered. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Sea travellers within Fiji can expect significant changes to boat fares by the end of this year. Government is now working on a new fare structure after a review was recommended by the Commerce Commission. Epeli Tukwasa reports.
There is light at the end of the tunnel for islanders who have often raised their concerns of the high fares and freight charges levied by shipping companies.
The review of the freight rates and passenger fares. In it also encompasses the review. It will also touch on the Fiji shipping franchise scheme, where we will have to review the routes and also the fares that the current rates that we have.
The first round of consultation on this review has ended, and a team will also visit Rotuma, Lau and Kantawum. Shipping companies will also make their submission on the cost of shipping operations.
There are a few ro-ros who are ready to prepare to provide services to the outer islands. There are conventional vessels or former fishing vessels that have been retrofitted, and they are now passenger vessels that are players. So with these new vessels coming in, they have a bigger engine capacity. So it boils back to the operating costs. Their operating costs will more or less increase.
Government wants the fare and freight charges to be affordable for everyone. The last review was carried out in 1987. Epeli Tukwasa, FBC News.
In the news ahead, $80 million facelift for supermarket and bus station.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umina rua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina wakarambuka. Rongo mena via sana kina viva ka barota kini ndreko malolo. Ena radio Fiji wan na wongani via niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. An $80 million facelift is planned for the supermarket and bus station. Suva City Council Special Administrator Chandu Maria says the concept plan has already been drawn and will soon be presented to the local government ministry. Ritika Pratap reports.
Congestion at the bus station, overcrowding and lack of parking space at the market area has always been a concern for city-goers. The SCC has been working to fix this. Plans are for a refurbished market in a 4-story building with everything under one roof.
Where we can accommodate every type of vendors. It will be we'll have an air-conditioned fish market. We will have about 300 car park in the market and bus station area. We'll have a food court. We'll have a convention center. We'll have a lot of about close to 80 shops in the market, different type of shops and supermarkets.
Congestion at the Suva bus station isn't new, and according to Chandu Maria, this is because the number of buses has surpassed what was initially planned.
We plan to have a 3-story bus station where different buses will be going on to different floors, and there will be a very easy movement of buses and traffic in that area.
Plans are also in place for an upgrade of the Raiwanga market. The council has awarded a tender to one of 3 companies that applied for the upgrade.
It is a very old market. There hasn't been any maintenance or refurbishing done to the market, and the market is empty because nobody wants to go there and buy root crops or vegetables. The only thing we have is a couple of vendors selling outside the market. At the same time, a couple of shops, a bakery and other shops in the market.
Beautification of the Suva city is an ongoing process as the council aims to make Suva one of the beautiful cities in the Pacific region. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still yet to be implemented, the draft volatile substance abuse decree may cause inconvenience for customers and retailers. The Fiji Retailers Association supports the draft decree, however, believes there needs to be more emphasis on policing it. Akusita Tale with more.
Nail polish remover, benzene, glue and others will be carefully monitored not to be sold to minors when the new decree is in place. The Fiji Retailers Association says they support the decree.
At the end of the day, we have to look at the health of Fiji. So it's the people of Fiji, if they have a healthy life, that's most important, and we are in support of that.
Some examples of volatile substances, as stated in the draft, are paint thinner, correction fluids, petrol, PVC or any kind of glue, nail polish remover, and even deodorants, amongst others. A person who even sells or supplies these to a child can face 2 years in prison, a $5,000 fine, or both. Lodia says there needs to be more emphasis placed on policing this at home.
The emphasis should be given on how do we control. Maybe the abuse is at the parents at homes. What do you do?
The National Substance Abuse Advisory Council says there's still a lot of work left to be done educating the public.
While we can make regulations, we can make laws relating to anything, but it needs to be taken ownership by the very foundation, that is the parents, the families at home.
NSEC will start holding public consultation on the draft volatile substance abuse decree from next month. Akusita Tale,
FBC News.
Good news for the people of Ndreketi and Vanua Levu. FEA CEO Hasmukh Patel says Ndreketi will receive power soon. Chanel Sivan has more.
Kerosene lamps and diesel generators will soon be a thing of the past for people in Ndreketi.
One of the projects that is currently under construction is establishment of power supply to Ndreketi in Vanua Levu as part of the government's Look North plan. There is another 14.5 million project. We have gone 50-50 between the government and FEA to establish that project, and we are well on target, and so we should be able to complete the project by the end of September. So we should be able to liven electricity to Ndreketi.
This venture is expected to boost agricultural work in the area. This announcement comes as the FEA announces a $75.3 million profit.
We'd like to congratulate them for these results, and obviously the challenge is to ensure that we keep on achieving these results for the years to come, because there has been some obviously requirements on the financial output. The inputs are looking good, financial output in terms of meeting some of the debt requirements that the FEA has.
It's no doubt that together with FEA, Ndreketi will also be sharing this achievement, expecting electrification of their homes in the not-too-distant future. Chanel Sivan, FBC News.
And we've reached that time. Mr. Sports joins us now. What do you have for us, Jamie?
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up tonight, we take a look at the preparations for tomorrow's Sports Awards. Also, schoolgirls cricket on the rise in the capital. Stay with us for that and more.
Isambolo binaka, na dango wadi soni dalai, na makio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, na moni digina por rombuka, na Mbula FM, na bandua na serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला, मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो FBC पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back. Defending champions Navy will play police in the final of the Escort Shield rugby competition next week. This after the Sailors managed the hard-fought 13-10 extra time win over Raiwanga in the semi-final last night. Here's some of the action.
To Mbera taking it forward, and here going over on the right flank, Raululu eventually at the end of the line, the inside over down in the centre field. Here's the effort going, and there's Vadiloa. No, it's not, it's the original Jovalisi, and there the try is scored, brilliantly done. They get it away, they get it out onto the open, and here it is. Here's the try that'll make the difference, and Raiwanga have gone through a slip pass across onto the left. So we wait and see and wait with interest. It is an important kick for Navy. It could possibly win them the game. And he's made it through. It certainly got through. The flags are up. They're jumping for joy. Navy, which has indicated it was the golden point that does it.
And in the second semi-final, Police beat Army 19-13. Officials of the Fiji National Rugby League will travel to Australia next week to meet with overseas-based players. They hope to talk to Jason Bukuya at the same time. Bukuya, who is facing a 6-month suspension for use of banned performance-enhancing drugs, is likely to miss out on the World Cup in October. FNRL Operations Manager Tommy Finau says they want to meet Bukuya before making a formal statement on the issue. The Fiji National Sporting Commission is currently out and about in the north conducting outreach programs in rural communities and villages. This program aims to introduce these communities to various sports as well as tips on healthy living. Talin Daudakadaka reports.
As a means to introduce youths and communities in the north to a more healthy and active lifestyle, the Fiji Sports Council is carrying out outreach programs in 18 villages. These programs include officials from various sporting bodies and ministries.
Fiji Rugby, Fiji Rugby League, Netball Fiji, from Athletics Fiji, from Volleyball Fiji. And then we have the Ministry of Health there with us because we're working together to show that, you know, what physical activity can do for healthy living and for the whole community at large.
These communities will be recipients to some top-grade sporting equipment at the culmination of these programs.
Sports Commission's point of view, we take up all the equipment that they need to run the sports. So we took up rugby balls and netballs and volleyballs and nets and everything. So we will leave a set of all of this in every village. So 18 villages will get sports equipment.
St. Bede's College sprinter Benjamin Omarabu's exploits at the recent Coke Games is just one example of the abundance of talent in the north. As the Fiji Sports Council points out, our future sports stars can be unearthed from such programs. Tsalendo Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Sports Awards are looking to be a sellout event tomorrow night. Tickets are selling so fast that organizers have had to bring in extra tables to accommodate more than 700 expected guests. Apart from the prizes that will be up for grabs, and the highlight of the evening will be the New Zealand Sevens legend, Eric Rush, as the guest speaker.
Great night, and planning's great, good entertainment. Eric Rush is a great speaker, a good motivator. So, yeah, we're looking forward to a very good night tomorrow.
The Suva football side has signed the Lambasa duo of Emori Rangata and Amit Kanaya as the Whites look at strengthening their side further. Suva football president Mahen Prasad has confirmed the signings. The two new signees will feature for the Civic Club. Rangata returns to Suva after playing for the side last year during the Fiji Fact and Inter-District wins. Kanaya will be making his debut for the capital team. Schoolgirls cricket is on the rise in Suva, and it's come in the form of Lumeri Secondary as the first school from the Seru province to take up the sport and make a name for themselves. Elena MacDonald caught up with some of the action at Albert Park.
Pure interest. That's the reason why schoolgirls cricket in Suva is a buzz at the moment.
It's new in our school and I just love to play cricket.
Despite a long way to go with technique, many of these new cricket enthusiasts, especially from Lumeri Secondary, are in it for the long haul.
We were surprised. We thought that we'd get only about 20 girls. In fact, more than 60 girls approached us wanting to join the cricket. So we had to cut down our list to 24 girls.
Gospel and Lumeri are the unbeaten team so far. And while for most it's about competing, for Lumeri, being involved means slightly more.
Competition is like on Wednesdays and Fridays. I think the ride also up to Suva is something that girls look forward to.
Schoolgirls cricket is just the start for administrators in regards to development. And with national championships and international outings used as a lure, we can expect more cricket advocates to emerge soon. Elena MacDonald, FBC Sports.
That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
The Bank of the South Pacific opened its new branch in Valelevo Nasino this morning. BSP country manager Kevin McCarthy revealed it cost them around $500,000 to set up the new branch. The bank hopes that by opening the new branch, they will maintain their customer base and get new stable quality customers. They now have 19 branches with around 107 ATMs in Fiji.
The sales centre is for our personal retail customers. Here you can come and open your bank account. You can get a loan with our personal bankers. You can get your card replaced. Any sort of number of inquiry services.
BSP plans to set up another branch in Nakasi by next year. Time for the weather girl now. Jen, a penny for your thoughts.
You better make it more than a penny, Jackie. As forecast yesterday, there was nothing out of the ordinary with today's weather. Suva and Savasavu were back to the usual rain and cloudiness, while fine conditions were consistent in the western side. Temperatures remain cool for Fiji, and 28 seems to be a popular number on the chart. Savasavu had the coolest on 26 degrees, while Mombasa managed a warmer 31. Tomorrow sees much of the same weather as today. Southeast winds remain at 10 to 15 knots, with mariners likely to experience moderate to rough seas. And it was smooth sailing for Abdul Shamil when he captured this perfect day on camera at Suva Harbour. A big vanaka for the effort, Abdul. We love it when viewers think of us while on a day out. That's weather for tonight. Until the next great photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
So much for that, Genevieve. The headlines again. Lautoka sugar mill worker sustained 60% burns in mill mishap and is in a serious state at the Lautoka hospital. Fiji Sugar and General Workers Union goes ahead with secret ballot to decide on industrial action, and for the first time, parents to be held accountable for negligence resulting in children's deaths. To the poll question now, and we ask, should Fiji FA combine Tavua soccer with Vatukola? Visit our website www.fbc.com.fj to have your say. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Until tomorrow, good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।